Hello. Hi. It's me, Jill. I'm so excited because I just hit my 775,000 views on YouTube. Thanks to you. Thank you. That's pretty awesome. I feel the love. So hi, replay people. I am in Fort Lauderdale once again. My home, my chosen home. Hi, Annie. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see this beautiful, gorgeous evening. It is so nice outside. If you've got snow and ice and super cold temperatures, I'm sorry for you because Fort Lauderdale is pretty near perfect tonight. I don't know if you can see, but that's the intercoastal right there. Looks like there's some boats on it. Looks like there's a boat coming around the pike. Hi, Darla. That's right, it's Annie's birthday. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you're celebrating you mean with your family. I knew your birthday was very soon. I just couldn't remember which day it was. Rain that turns to ice. That sounds nasty. I hated that the most when I lived up north. Icy rain. Like, could it be more painful? Yes, happy birthday, Annie. Oh, your birthday's on the 12th. Oh, we've got a few days. Well, I'm going to sing to you on the 12th if you don't mind. Let's really celebrate on the day that you entered this world. Yeah, look, there's a little boat there and it's very loud. I don't know if you can hear it. Sounds good, Annie. I think it's the 7th today, Darla, but don't ever listen to me because I don't always know what day it is. Look at this beautiful evening. Wow, how gorgeous. I love the lights reflecting on the water. Oh, and there goes the air conditioner. Here, I thought I would not have to turn it off. Is that air conditioner really loud? Do you guys hear it? Is it bothering you? Well, we already have a troll, so I just threw the troll into the intercoastal. There, Darla, I just gave you a job. Hi, Catherine. Yeah, you can see that's the city of Fort Lauderdale in front of us. City lights. I know, the air conditioner kicks on and you guys are like, what? Yeah, I know, it's a little bit confusing, isn't it? Yep, I slammed that troll, Maureen. Hi, Vern. Yeah, the city of Fort Lauderdale. It looks lovely this evening. Hi, Deborah. MAGA, Wisconsin. Roger's in the house. Hey, Roger. Yeah, it is a great time to be elderly in America. This is my new tagline. Yeah, darling. When you don't like what somebody says, all you have to do is click on their comment and then you go all the way to the bottom and you kick them right off, and you toss them into this body of water, please. This is where the sharks are waiting for them. What does that mean, time them out, Vern? Hey, Wayne. Are those birds, are those stickers? I get confused about they look like emojis. I never heard of Janesville, Wisconsin. Do you guys make cheese? Having a snowstorm, Wayne. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, get those trolls, Darla. All right, Vern is willing to put himself up on the chopping block. Vern, you are pretty brave, my friend. You guys are awesome tonight. I hear a lot of sirens in the background, police or ambulance. I don't know, but I say a prayer for the people concerned every time I hear sirens in the background. We do need the Trump duck. You are right. But you know what? We have something tonight that's a little bit better than the Trump duck. We have Muffin Stuffin'. Muffin Stuffin' is here tonight with us. Wait, she's in her cubicle bed. Look how beautiful she is. The lights behind her. Yeah, she's our Doge dog, right? Muffin Stuffin'. She's the best. Baruch Hashem. Oh gosh, I love you being on here tonight, Roger. Dude, you're in the right place. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Beach Report, live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I know many of you are experiencing heinous weather conditions. You've got a snowstorm, you've got freezing rain. I'm looking for where the light is best. I feel like this light's a little bit harsh. Ah! It is 10:47 here on the very east coast of the United States in Florida. So welcome to the Beach Report. I am asking you all to please like and subscribe. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel, and I'm finding that telling you guys that I'm doing that has been really helpful because you have been helping me. So I thank you so much. I have some things I wanted to talk with you about this evening. It's hard for me to be in Fort Lauderdale again. It's just been a little over 2 weeks since my little dog, my little Muffin, passed away. So I have this toy dog with me now, and those of you who are going through the loss of a pet, this is a really good idea. Get yourself a toy dog. It's really helpful. It's like, you know, kind of having a surrogate, and at the same time, you're not replacing your pet, but you are giving yourself that time to, you know, grieve, but still have the hug, still have the pets, but also not be afraid anymore. You know, there's no more illness. There's no more feeding. There's no more we have to go out and pee. There's no more, you know, have to run home because she's alone or anything like that. So in a lot of ways, life is a lot easier. But in some of the worst ways, life is a lot harder. All right, well, some of my favorite followers are on this evening. I'm going to read one of our favorite books, Jesus Calling, by Sarah Young, Enjoying Peace in His Presence. And it is now February 8th. So I'm going to read the page from February 8th. Every day is a different page. Vern, I'm calling the stuffed dog Stuffin' Muffin. I don't know. I still haven't like thought that I would name it. Like it didn't really occur to me. It was like it's Muffin. And to tell you the truth, her ashes are also that they're inside of here. So she is really here. She is here with us. So I don't know if it's Muffin Stuffin' or, you know, I always called her Potato. And now she really kind of is a potato. So I don't know. I'm just trying to be really positive about it. I'm trying to think of her differently now because she is different. She is not ever going to be the same, and but I still want her in my life. So I have to accept her now as my spirit dog, my spirit animal, if you will. But also, I have this little, not replacement, but little helper to help me get through it. You know, kind of like Santa's helpers. You know, stuff like that. I don't know, but thanks for asking. Yes, her ashes aren't inside the dog, but her ashes are inside her bed where she used to lay. I also found out that the dog, which was made using pictures of her, and it was made years ago. It wasn't made because she died. It was made before then for my daughter, who Muffin was her dog. Muffin is her dog. Muffin belongs to us both, and my daughter really missed her because she lived with me in Florida. So her husband had this dog made. So what a wonderful, wonderful husband. And it was made with pictures of Muffin. Anyway, I found out that the company that made this Muffin Stuffin' is local down here in Florida. So I'm going to look them up and see if I can't do a story about that company, because I'll tell you what, super, super helpful to have the likeness of your dog as a stuffed animal. I know there's taxidermy and everything, and that's one thing, but a stuffed animal that looks like your dog, even while your dog is still alive, I think that's pretty cool, and it has been very, very helpful. And I gotta apologize, it's really hard for me to see what you guys are writing. I have trouble seeing at night. All of us old ladies have trouble seeing at night. And also, I'm a little bleary-eyed because I've been on the road a lot today, driving, and it just makes me tired, you know. I'm old. All right, no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't embrace the old of it. Let's just say, I don't know. It feels like you're old, you know, when you can't see very well anymore. But Sue did give me a magnifying glass, and you know what? That's actually kind of helpful, isn't it cute? Eiffel Tower magnifying glass. Only Sue, right? Let's see, what does it say? Annie just said, "This is the Lord. Oh, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." Do you guys see me? I know, Jolie, I'm not going to say I'm old anymore. Okay. All right. I'm not old. I'm young and happy. Yeah, all right. You know what? You're so right about that, because words do make a difference. When you say things, you know, you get in your life what you think about the most. And lately, I've been seeing so many videos about manifestation and trying to kind of change your timeline, ways that you can make your life the way you want to make your life, because it is high time that we all understood and believed that everything that happens to us is happening not just for a reason, but because we want it to happen. Even the bad things, you know, sometimes, for instance, a beautiful woman will overeat and become fat on purpose because she wants to downplay her looks. She doesn't want to be the center of attention when she is thin and beautiful. So she overeats in order to kind of hide from the attention of not just men, but even other women. Because women can be very intimidated by another beautiful woman, especially if they don't feel so beautiful themselves. That's often why really beautiful women get bullied a lot. So, Kimberly, I have trouble at night seeing clearly. I use castor oil. Yeah, castor oil. I am all about the castor oil, big time. And you know, I broke this tooth. This one, here. I know that it is cracked. I don't know how bad it is, but that's another thing. So I am over here praying so hard and imagining in my mind that this tooth is knitting itself together. I'm thinking all the time, you know, this tooth is going to be healthy, it's going to be okay. My dentist is going to be able to do whatever he needs to do in a healthy way that's going to make my tooth okay. It'll be salvageable. It's not going to be so bad. It's not going to be so expensive. No worries, we got this. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm focusing on the best outcome I can have. Is that going to work? Well, I sure as heck hope it does. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Something else I've noticed is that I seem to have a broken tooth every time somebody dies in my life. I don't know what's up with that, but it's just an observation. Hi, Sherry. You don't have to watch the replay. You are here. I know. That's the most wonderful thing about the Beach Report is that it is interactive. I get to talk to you. You get to talk to me. And I actually really like the fact that on YouTube, the comments disappear after the live show is over. So, you know, it gets hard sometimes when we've got people looking at the comments during the show when it really is a conversation between a large group of friends. Right now it's a small group of friends. Shayla, hey girl, thank you, sweetie. Vern, how the heck does castor oil help you see? Great question. So I've really been researching castor oil, and apparently it does a lot of really good things for you. I don't know how. I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about how it does it. But if you start researching on the internet, you're going to start finding out that castor oil is like the new coconut oil. Remember when coconut oil was huge and everybody was like, swish it around in your mouth for 20 minutes? Did you ever hear about that coconut pulling? What did you get from your mom, Shayla? Oh, castor oil? Okay. I'm explaining the castor oil, seriously. It really does. It also helps grow hair. Like if you have thinning eyelashes or eyebrows and you put castor oil on them, it will help your hair. It will help your hair on your head. It is very greasy, but get to love it. Anyway, as far as the oil pulling, which is where you swish a certain kind of oil around in your mouth, usually people choose to do coconut oil pulling. However, castor oil is now the big thing because if you do oil pulling with coconut oil, it takes like 20 minutes. With castor oil, you're like one and done in like, they say 2 minutes. I do like 3 or 4 just to be sure. I actually enjoy the taste of castor oil. It's kind of weird at first, but now I'm like, it's really kind of great. Let's see. Oh, really, Sheila? And what do you think about the castor oil? Hi, Brenda. Yes, I know. It is a beautiful, beautiful evening tonight. Yeah, if you want, I'll show you the city of Fort Lauderdale, or I can have it in my background too. Who is your favorite Roman emperor? I don't have a favorite Roman emperor. Really? Come on. Okay, so Maureen, actually, castor oil is on the market so that you drink it. It is very good for constipation. It will clean you out. So you can buy food grade castor oil at the drugstore anywhere, and it is for constipation, actually. I think that is the one FDA use that is approved, that it is used for. So a lot of people grow up and their parents or their grandparents made them take a teaspoon of castor oil every single day or at night. I don't know. My parents never did that, but apparently it is very good for you, and it even kills parasites. So all I can say is I have been using it. I also, another thing is that it gets rid of dark spots on your skin, and I have some like little, like, I think they're, if they call them sunspots, I'm gonna call them freckles because that sounds a lot cuter. But anyway, so I got these freckles here. So I don't know. You guys can tell me if they look better or I can look, whatever. Anyway, I don't look too bad for 60 years old. And maybe it's the castor oil. Maybe it's the fasting. I do a lot of things that are kind of unconventional in order to be healthy, in order to make my life the best that it can be. So I did want to talk about that tonight because I keep seeing people talking about manifesting and making your life better simply by kind of thinking about it in the right way and changing your life just by and stuff that sounds a little bit woo-woo, but I will never forget the first time I heard about that book, The Secret by Rhonda. Oh, Rhonda. I forget Rhonda's name, but anyway, her last name. Yeah, manifesting, exactly. So when I heard about The Secret, I was kind of surprised because it is something that I've been doing my entire life, and I'm really good at it. But there's only one thing that I've never managed to really master about manifesting. And I think it's because I feel like I don't really need, or I have felt like I don't really need to do this, but it's all when it comes to money. I am, or I have been very anti money. I've always felt like, you know, rich people are kind of selfish or greedy. And then I don't mean that in a way that, you know, everybody rich is selfish and greedy. I'm not painting people with one brush. I just think sometimes that when you're doing something only for money, that maybe it's not as meaningful as when you do it because you really, really want to do it. And it makes you really happy and you're helping other people. But as Shayla says, my mom made my brother and I eat a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses sometimes when we were kids. Thankfully, never castor oil. Yes, blackstrap molasses, and there's something else, cod liver oil that all the old timey kids had to eat by the spoonful like every day. A spoonful of medicine makes no a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, the medicine go down, the medicine go down. Anyway, Kimberly, exactly. You're like, girl, you're jumping ahead of me. She says, the more money you have, the more you can help others. Right. See, I haven't understood that my whole life. Now you're showing your age. I have always felt like, I don't know, I just wasn't going about it the right way. Maybe because money has always been something that people have kind of tried to get me to do things for, you know, and I'd be like, I don't do things for money, you know. That just sounds so cheap that a child of God should be doing anything for money. I don't know. And I have had such a wonderful life. I have been so blessed because everything that I ever want or anything I ever ask God for, 95% of the time, it comes to me. And if it's something that is like immediate and I'm in trouble, God always answers my prayers. Always. What happened to your eyes? Why do people ask weird questions like that? Does it look like something happened to my eyes, or are you just trying to make fun of me? I don't understand. Darla, where's Darla when you need her? Darla, here's somebody that you might be able to toss into the intercoastal. Anyway, talking about manifesting. So before we do, and before my eyes go, yeah, maybe it's because I can't see very well at night. Yes, so thank you, Shayla. You know, when trolls say things like that, sometimes I think, did something happen and I didn't notice? I don't know. I don't know. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Oh, looks like he's been eaten by a shark. Good job. Yay. All right. Okay, so this is the excerpt from Jesus Calling for today, February 8th. I am above all things, your problems, your pain, and the swirling events in this ever-changing world. When you behold my face, you rise above circumstances and rest with me in heavenly realms. This is the way of peace, living in the light of my presence. I guarantee that you will always have problems in this life, but they must not become your focus. When you feel yourself sinking in the sea of circumstances, say, "Help me, Jesus," and I will draw you back to me. If you have to say that thousands of times daily, don't be discouraged. I know your weakness, and I meet you in that very place. Oh, hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Yes, nice save with the shark feeding. Yes, great job, Darla. Look, did you feed another one to the shark while I was reading? I love that you can do that. Yes, so we're teaching Charla how to feed the sharks tonight. If anybody else wants to also feed the sharks, let me know and I will make you a moderator too. Because you know what? We all need the help. And I'm dedicated to the beach report being a no troll zone. If you are on the beach report, I want you to feel like, is this a safe place? And that's why I'm doing memberships. But I understand not everybody can even do memberships, because when I was at my friend Michelle's house last night, she's like, "Hey girl, I need a membership for sure." And I was like, "You absolutely do." And we tried to get the membership on her YouTube page, and it wasn't there. It was you could subscribe but no membership button. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. And then another one of my followers said the same thing, that they're having trouble getting the membership on my page. So I don't know. I'm looking into it. We'll figure it out. If anybody has any ideas about what's going on with that, I would love to know. But what's happening at the beach? Yeah, sorry, Roger. I'm at the intercoastal right now. That's one of the intercoastal canals over there. It's it's a little bit dark to be on the beach, but maybe we'll go there tomorrow. But we are very close to the beach. We are on the intercoastal in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So, yeah. Oh, update their apps. Okay. Oh, maybe that's the problem. All right, you guys. Well, everybody update your app. I know that I actually just did that on my other phone that I have that was from my husband. So, hi, Chris. I'm so sorry. It's super hard to see. So, I do have my magnifying glass. It is really helpful. All right. Anyway, tonight's reading was from Ephesians and Matthew. And, this is so true. You do have to ask for help from God. So I don't wear contacts. I don't like to put things in my eyes. I'm like really afraid of that. So you have to get memberships on a computer or laptop. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Terry. That might be the reason because we were doing it on the phone. So, Michelle, if you're watching, try it again on your computer. Anyway, let's see. What was I talking about? Oh, manifesting. So, yeah, I finally figured out how to ask for abundance as far as money, because I don't worry about anything else. I don't worry about a roof over my head. I don't worry about food, and sometimes I fast and I don't even need to eat food. I don't worry about things like, you know, does anyone love me? I feel so loved all the time. I feel like there's nothing really that I need. So I guess for me to ask for money or abundance, even though I do have to pay bills and I do worry about that a little bit. Sometimes it does get like, oh no, like, oh, there's not much money in the bank account and the bills are coming, and I do kind of like stress about that, and I also think sometimes that I don't want to be the one that's being helped, you know, people taking me out for dinner, and people are so very, very good to me. I would rather be good to them. But I know too that I help them in ways that are not about money. So, Darlie, did you just do a shark attack? I saw kind of happen, but I don't know what the shark said. Yay, because I don't need to know what the shark said. Because guess what? If you say nasty things on the beach report, nobody needs to hear the nastiness. So, hey, Wayne, everybody loves you. You know that. And it seems like we all stress over the bills because of Joe Biden for the last 4 years. Okay, so that's super true. Oh, calling me you know, but I don't mind being called Granny. I really don't. I'm actually kind of honored because you don't get to be old without learning things, you know, without wisdom. And I tell you something else. My grandmother, may she rest in peace, was one of the very best people I've ever met in my life. And if somebody calls me grandma, that's the name of honor. As far as I'm concerned, I want to be a grandmother so badly. No pressure on my kids. But you know, I mean, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. All I can say is that I'm honored to be called grandma. And I know that young people these days, you know, they see somebody with gray hair and wrinkles, and they feel that they have to be disrespectful for some reason. I don't really understand why people feel that disrespect is where it's at. But young people, for some reason, maybe they are intimidated by an older person talking to them. You know, they don't tell me what to do. I used to always say, don't tell me what to do. You're not my dog. Because Muffin told me what to do. My life was ruled by a dog. However, I got over letting people tell me what to do. And I'm really not very good at it. And, you know, I think sometimes, like, now that I don't have Muffin around, you know, maybe I could get a job working in something. And then I'm like, what? I haven't worked for anybody in, like, what, 30 years or something like that. I mean, I've always been an entrepreneur as a writer. I've always been a freelance writer. Like, I'm great at taking orders, or not orders, no, assignments. Yes, assignments. That's what writers take. We get assignments. But yes, you know what? Working is too hard in this country. With Darky Girl, it's too hard. People should not have to toil like this. Nobody should be, you know, kind of wasting their days away counting widgets, or, you know, doing something that doesn't really fulfill their lives. And I am so grateful that I have never done anything like that. I've always approached my career, my life, like this is my life. I had a job once for a year where I was writing the news from 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was online. So I had to be on at 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to be ready to go and starting to write. And every 15 minutes, I had to write another article. I never wrote so fast or so much in my whole life. And it was an entire year. And I sometimes didn't get a day off for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And I would just be not 24/7, but from 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes to 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Another story, another story. Man, I learned so much. I was writing news day, night, my whole life. It was like I had been a newspaper journalist for most of my career, but that was really the one time where I was just eating, breathing news all day long, and it was really crazy, and I felt like I didn't have a life for that year. I loved it because I learned a lot. I learned to write super fast. I learned to, you know what, Shayla's got to be awesome. I have to meet you. Yeah, I got to go to the West Coast very soon and meet some of you people, because I have some of the greatest followers. Anyway, and thank you, Roger. We do need older journalists to tell the truth, and that would be me, honest to goodness. I was writing for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette for 18 years as a freelance writer, but I covered municipal, I covered school district, and now I'd like to cover the White House. If you're watching, I think it would be super, super interesting and fun, and I think I would do a really good job at it because I love this country and I love journalism. Once I was writing a story about human schmafficking, rhymes with schmafficking, let's say, and there was a pastor involved. They were educating a community in Pittsburgh about this scourge of our nation, which I hope is coming to an end like this week. Like, oh, I'm so torn up hearing about the things that children from all over the world are facing and are enduring because of adults who are just so twisted and disgusting, and oh gosh, I can't even think about it. But sometimes I have trouble sleeping, imagining that there's a child who cannot sleep safely, and I'm safe in my bed with my little dog, and and there's a child who's just having a nightmare life, and it just breaks my heart. Anyway, I'm getting off the topic. So I was writing one of my many articles about rhymes with schmafficking, and the pastor I was working with said to me, "Jill, you do journalism like a ministry." And from then on, I understood what he said, and I agree, because journalism should be a ministry. It should be a profession where, kind of like a doctor or somebody who helps you to navigate your society without, I would cover all these meetings and I'd be the only one there, but you didn't have to sit in that meeting because I did. And I told you what I thought you would want to know. But I mean, you should sit in your meetings, honestly. It would be really good if we took a lot more notice and a lot more care in what's going on in our local government. I was writing about, for instance, one of the townships I grew up in Pittsburgh. It was called McCandless Township. And I got to know all of the people who sat on the board, and everyone knew me, and we were, but I had to say, there were times, like maybe at the end of a meeting, where people would kind of mosey around, and I'd get my stories, or I'd get my sources, can I have your phone number? You said da-da-da in the meeting. What did you mean by that? Things like that. But anyway, it was funny. Sometimes I would walk up to a group of them, of the officials, and they'd see me there, standing there, and I was like not doing anything, and they acted like I'm constantly recording them, and oh, she's quiet. You know, it was like I was the fungus among us. But they were afraid of the press. My point being is that they were worried that I would tell the truth. Now, it's a whole different ball game, and journalism isn't what it used to be. And I needed to go back to that journalist who gets along with everybody in the town and meets everybody in the town and writes stories about people who live around you, your neighbors, the guy who, you know, saved that family when their house was on fire and he did, but you know, whatever, or that, you know, professional down the street who helps to mentor children, the lady who lives over there, you know. And did you know that back in the day she was a famous, you know, whatever. And I don't even want to talk about famous anymore. Let's stop being famous. Let's be real. Let's be each other. Let's be friends. Let's help each other. What does that say? I feel social media. I can't read what you said, Annie. Darky Girl says, I'm glad Trump is president again. I am too. And Sheila says, where could we go to read some of your journalist work? So that's a great question. So you can go to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. I know I am in something called Old Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. You can always Google Jill Cueni Cohen, CUENI-COHEN, and see what you come up with. It has been several years since I wrote for the mainstream news. I used to write for several magazines. One was called Human Resource Executive, but I think that all of those articles have been, they're gone because it's been some years. But I am having an issue right now. I am trying to make a website that has my journalism on it, has things that I've written in the past, has information that I think is important as far as articles I can write now. There are some articles I have written recently. In the past election cycle, I did some work to help people realize that, especially here in South Florida, some of the candidates were, let's say, not who they said they were. You know, rhinos, carpetbaggers, people like that. Unfortunately, those were the ones who won. Yeah, can you even with that noise? So I am so glad that President Trump ran for president way back in 2015. In fact, I was hoping that he would, and I was so excited the day that he went down the escalator and it was announced he said he would run for president. I was going down the stairs myself in my house in Pittsburgh, in the basement, and I nearly fell down the stairs when I heard that. And I was literally on my knees. I was so grateful. So that's another key to life, is gratitude. If you can be grateful for every single thing in your life, and even the bad things that happen, because you know what? If it didn't happen that way, then it wouldn't have happened that way. You know, there are some things that lead to other good things. And you're right, Annie, we all watched President Trump have a situation, let's say, on live television. And isn't that strange that CNN just happened to be posting President Trump live at that minute, when by all odds, we should have watched something horrible. I mean, so horrible that sometimes I actually weep thinking that we almost lost him like that. Sometimes I liken it to how horrible it was to watch the second plane go into the tower on 9/11. Those of us who saw that will never be the same. I saw that. Did you see that? It was shocking. And if we had watched President Trump take his last breath on July 13th, 2024, in such a horribly violent, terrible way, this country would not be the same. That's one of those timeline shifty things I've been thinking about and researching. And I wonder if, there was a plot to kill him. And we know there was a plot to kill him because they did everything but. Leading up to that, they tried to put him in jail. They tried to smear him. They called him names. They accused him of doing horrible things that he didn't do. They did everything they could to drag him through the mud and ruin him so that he could never be president. You watched it. And even Tucker Carlson himself said, what's next? Are they going to, you know what? And President Trump kind of took it with like, maybe, yeah. He knew it was a possibility. We all knew it was a possibility. Shayla says, I appreciate how carefully you speak. Well, thank you. I do have to be careful because I take my job as a journalist so seriously. And right now, even though I'm speaking opinion and I am editorializing, I am still that journalist who wants you to know the truth and wants you to know things that will make your life better. And it doesn't always have to be about politics or anything, but getting back to President Trump, what we saw was him being consecrated. I did not see him being nearly killed. I saw him being consecrated by God. I saw an amazing angel right before that appeared in a flag. I don't know if you guys saw that, but look it up. Look up the angel on July 13th, right before the Trump rally. It was just so obvious what was going on. And the fact that his shoes were just blown off, and not like, but like, boom, your shoes are off. That was crazy, right? So that blood would be on his toe. I mean, it was all written before. Everything has been written before. And you know why? Because we wrote it. So it gives me great hope because we all wrote that scenario. People would said that it was fake, that it didn't really happen, that it was shrapnel, right? No, it was so precise, so perfect, because we willed it to happen. We wanted it to happen. We made it happen. We are the creators, every single one of us. And I have always created my life in such a way that fun, excitement, hey, want to change your nationality? Let's go to Switzerland. Did you know that you can live at the beach all the time if you want to? What? Let's do that. That's seriously how I lived. One of my greatest desires was to be a mom and have babies. And it always really broke my heart that my own mother, who raised me, never, ever was granted that wish. First, she had miscarriages, so she adopted me and my brother and my sister. So yes, she did get that wish, but when I was a little girl, when I was 10 years old, she had a miscarriage again, and that baby was 8 months old. And I already felt that I had a little sister. Why did God take that baby away from her? I never understand things like that. It's so difficult to think about the things that you want in life. And then here I am feeling like I've gotten everything I wanted. However, that's not even really true, because I did always want a good man to love me. I wanted not just to be a mom, but I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to have a great husband, and I didn't get that. My ex-husband, he chose something else besides me and my family. Um, Darky Girl says Mexico is also colonized and was 300 years under Spanish rule. Yeah, yeah. Remember the 2012 whole thing about the Mayan calendar. You know, that was one of the turning points, I think, in our society too, that has led to the Great Awakening when we found out about that. But yeah, you know, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't be sorry to hear that, because it led to me meeting my husband, who I only got to be with him for 11 months. You know, like, I'm not looking at the before he died, but I'm not looking at these things in a place of lack. You know, I'm not like, oh, I'm so sad because everything I wanted was taken from me, and it was, but only because that's the way life is. I got what I wanted, though, you know? I'm not sad. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. Who was it? Was it Shakespeare who said, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? Isn't that the truth? And when you love in this world, kick the troll. Where's Darla? Where's Darla when you need her? Anyway, it got quiet. Hallelujah. Anyway, if you look at your life as a tragedy, as, oh, woe is me, and I'm speaking as somebody who, on the day I was born, I was taken away from my mother, not to ever see her again until I was 19 years old. So that's pretty tragic, you know? But instead of thinking, oh no, I lost my mother, I was told, look, these wonderful people chose you to be their daughter. And you are so lucky. And that's how I come at life, with the feeling that I am so lucky. Because if my own mother, for whatever reason, was not able to raise me and be my mother, and she had to have had a great reason, right? Because there's nothing wrong with me. I'm a child of God. Look, I'm perfect. I'm created in his image. So it wasn't about me. She had a loss too, you know, but we both got over our losses, and we both learned how to live in the world and look at it from a place of gratitude. And that's how you manifest your life. All right, but now I'm going to get on to how to manifest money. And I wouldn't say that I have manifested any money, because I haven't done that yet. But I think I figured out the key to doing that. Well, anyway, it'll work for me. I can never ask for money for myself. I'm just not going to be able to do it. It's just like, oh, I don't need money. I mean, I do, but I just need enough to get by for this month. I don't need too much. But now I realize it's because I can't pray for it for myself. I have to pray for it for my friends. I have to say, Lord, if I had this money, I could help my girl over here who can't pay the mortgage on her house. I wish that I could give her enough money to pay the whole dang mortgage and everything else, and then go on a cruise or whatever she wants, I want to help other people. So I think it's going to be so much easier for me to manifest wonderful things in the world if I'm asking them for other people, or for me to help other people. So I think it makes it easier. What do you guys think? I see some weird comments. And, 111 angel numbers. Yeah, when you see those angel numbers, you know. I don't see them right now, though. Darla, you had a phone call. I hear there was a troll. I don't know where it was, though. But it looks like you got him. Good job. Woo! Okay, so I'm back in Fort Lauderdale after 2 weeks since my baby went to heaven. The, sh- the sharks are happy now. Good job, sharks. And before I talk anymore, I just want to show you the beautiful cityscape and how gorgeous it is here in Fort Lauderdale. That's the city. You can see the buildings over on Las Olas over there. That's our main drag, if you will. I hope your daughter's doing okay, Darla. No, she just lost her grandfather. Good night, darling. I'm getting my nighttime kisses from my bestie. I'm so blessed. I'm just so blessed. It's hard to be where Muffin always was, but I can't think about what I've lost. I have to think about the great good fortune that I've had. Oh, she's traumatized. I'm sorry to hear that, Darla. Yes, if everybody could please pray for Darla and her daughter. And I think that's actually also the key to manifesting what you want. When your prayers are really focused on how do I help other people instead of how do I just help myself or get what I need, but how do I maybe get what I need in order to help others? So what do you think? Did I learn it right? It does feel better when you help other people. I've noticed that my whole life. That whenever I'm really down and I'm going through a very bad time myself, the best thing that I can do for myself is to help somebody else.
It's better to be on this side, isn't it?
I like both sides.
Yeah, they do.
So we have a friend over here. Anyway, yeah, I was so just talking about the way that you can overcome your sadness when you feel like life is just so awful. Oh my gosh. It's, I just lost my best friend. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think the best thing that you can do is do things for others. So for the next few days, I'm going to be helping my friends one of my friends, her husband is, he's sick. He's older. He has the same, well, the big C, let's call it. I don't like to talk about it, and I'm certainly not going to give anyone's diagnosis or talk about medical stuff. Just saying, when my husband was dying, the best thing that my friends could ever do was to come and help me out. And the way that they helped me out was to help me to get my house in order, help me to go through, especially Ray had so many things, and I'm just gonna say it, he was a bit of a hoarder, and he had a whole room full of stuff. Hi Shayla. Aw, thank you. Hi Mom. But anyway, he had all this stuff, and one of my best friends, more than one of many of my friends, and some were my followers, some I've never even met. They've been watching my show. They were watching me and my husband, and they just came to the farm and started helping. It was amazing. And it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And so now I do the same for other people. And I know, so if there's a friend of mine and they're going through something, I know the best thing I can do, like tonight I went over her house and their house, and I just helped her to get her closet in order because she wants to paint the house. Somehow, it seems when somebody's dying, some people go into a kind of a nesting frame of mind, like And it's good, you know, you have to get your house in order, and you want to know, what do I have, like, things that you would ask them about. You want to be able to do that before they're gone, but at the same time, it's hard. You want to respect the fact that they're dying and they're not going to be around. And does it bother them to talk about it? Is it scary for them? Is it something that, they don't want to be reminded that they aren't going to be around to be with you in the coming life? So it's super, super hard. These are hard questions, aren't they? Sometimes the best time to talk about what happens when I die is way before you die, when nobody's sick. Like, I've written many journalistic articles about this one, and I will read my articles on the Beach Report. I always love to do that because, hey, I wrote them. It's a shame that they were in a newspaper or a magazine once, years ago. Most of the things I've written are actually pretty evergreen. So let's see. Mashiach in 5786. All seniors should keep their homes in order. That's so true. And everybody, actually, senior or not, think about things that you accumulate in your life. And I know there are some things that you don't really need that thing, and it's not bringing you joy anymore, and it's just clutter. But sometimes you do have to think about things with the mindset that, if I died, what would my child, parent, friends, fill in the blank, do with this thing that I have? So I think you should go through life just distributing things all the time. When my mother died, she was an artist, actually. She was a very talented artist, and she'd like to do oil paintings. So there were lots of oil paintings, and it was super, super hard for me to part with even one of them. But I didn't have a home myself, and I was moving to Florida, and I was really not able to, hold on to anything, and I didn't really want to hold on to things. I did take some paintings, I did take some things, and I ended up, putting them in storage, or whenever I moved somewhere, I would put this one picture up that she didn't even paint it. It was like this. Now my friend Brooke has it. I still can't get rid of it. Sometimes you like go through like your whole life like lugging this stuff around that you don't even need. I mean, it's a pretty painting. It doesn't really mean anything except that my mother, I'll never forget, she bought it and she was like, so like, oh, it's so wonderful, and isn't it the most beautiful in the world? And put it right up in the middle of her living room, and and so now I've got to like deal with it. I can't get rid of it because my mother loved it so much. Oh, your dad is 95. Wow, that is a very long life, Roger. Start talking to him. That's another thing I wanted to talk to about as Valentine's Day rolls around. Valentine's Day, it's not just for lovers. It should be really just for love. And that love can come in so many forms. And I think one of the greatest forms of love is loving thy neighbor. And when I talk about loving thy neighbor, I'm talking about the old lady next door who rarely gets out of the house because she's got such bad arthritis, or like my grandmother, when she was much older, she would be hearing music in her head all the time. It was crazy. I remember once I was like humming a song or something, and she said, "That sounds like my music." It was really wild. Or she would hear people talking and they weren't really talking. But anyway, it made her not want to go anywhere, because she would get kind of confused with people around, whatever. Anyway, a really great way to show your love is to go to a nursing home, or go to that elderly person, or even if you don't really know them, and give them a Valentine and tell them, hey, Would you be my Valentine today and just be nice to them? Give them, you know, something pretty, a flower, you know, anything. Anything that the little candy hearts, just something Valentine's like. Especially somebody who doesn't have their husband or their wife anymore. Do it anonymously. Maybe that's a good idea. A widower, send them something that maybe their husband or wife might have sent them. Wouldn't that be a kick in the pants? My mom and I were just thinking about this and we agreed to go to a nursing home for V-Day. Yay! Look, see, I've manifested it like basically without even saying a word. No, I'm not saying it's not me, it's you. But anyway, it is such a great idea. Like 2 days ago. Okay. Well, I've written so many articles about this because I always look at holidays like this and how we can include people. You know, they want us to be equity, diversity, and inclusion. But when I think of that, I mean like really including people, like going to the nursing home. And when you go, take your dog. If your dog's okay, you know, if your dog can handle it. If you have a dog like that, take your dog. They love it. Can you imagine? I mean, when I'm in the nursing home, and I hope I'm never in a nursing home, nobody ever wants to be there. But when they are there, wouldn't it be the greatest to have a fluffy little baby come by and just remind you of your own pets from the past? There's so many things you can do, and I actually used to write for a monthly publication that was for nursing home professionals. So I I'm a professional at this, at the nursing home thing. But it is so important that people in nursing homes get visitors from the outside, and they do often. You know, like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts really have to go if they want to, you know, do things to proceed as an Eagle Scout or whatever. When my grandma was in a home, I made so many other friends there with people who just didn't get visitors. I miss it, so we decided to just go this year. You know what? Another really great place to go is hospice. When my husband was dying in hospice, and I had Muffin with me, and we visited everyone in hospice who was around us. Hi, Tamara. And it was wonderful and so important. I'll never forget, there was one man, and Muffin was running through hospice. They didn't care. She didn't like to wear a leash, you know. She was kind of a free spirit. And she just all of a sudden took off into this one man's room. And I felt terrible. Wait, Darla says, I was in a nursing home for 2 weeks after my partial knee replacement. There was a dog and cat that lived there, and I loved when they came into my room. Yeah, I'll bet. Well, anyway, so Muffin, she takes off right and runs top speed into this guy's room. And I'm like, oh no, oh, this isn't good. You know, I was so worried. And she went in there like she owned the place, and she ran up to the guy and she was like, hey, what's going on? And he was like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, Muffin, Muffin. And I'm trying to call her back, and she's totally ignoring me. And he says, don't do that. Let her stay. I want her here. And he made her so happy. No, this is a toy dog. This is a replica of my dog that recently passed. So this is my helper to get over my deep pain and sadness. Shayla says, I'll never forget my grandma's neighbors who told me about, who told me about her life all the time. She had been in Germany when the the nasty stuff started, and had some incredible stories. She was a lovely lady. Exactly. You learn history from these people. It is really cool. And I don't think you'll ever be sorry you did it. Go to hospice. Go to the nursing home. Go to the neighbor who's all alone. and do that good deed. Don't do it for yourself. Sorry, don't do it for them though, because you're going to be doing it for yourself. Even if you think, I don't want to do this. Ooh, I can't talk to old people. There's you people that come on and you call me grandma. Go talk to grandma. Go talk to your own grandma, actually. That's another great Valentine's Day gift. Is if you do have an older person in your life, you have a grandparent in your life still, honor them. Give them a Valentine and tell them how much you love them and ask them questions about their life. Know what your history is. Find out exactly what kind of people you come from. You'll learn a lot about yourself too. Cheryl says, Jill, I can't believe how much the stuffed dog resembles Muppet. They literally used a picture to make this stuffed dog. So, Sheila, I think we have a program here where we can go to a shelter and borrow a dog for the day. So we're hoping to take one with us when we go. That's a really good idea. Oh my gosh, Sheila, great idea right there. Okay, you don't want to be around people so much. Maybe you're not a good people person. That's okay. Go to the dog shelter. Go to the cat rescue. And, take a dog for a walk. Play with the cat. You can help animals. You can help people. Valentine's Day is about love. I mean, I know that it is also a pagan holiday that we probably should not be celebrating. But if you're going to celebrate love, celebrate it in a really loving way. Of course, if you have a significant other and you are in love, good for you. Enjoy the day. It's your day. For the rest of us, we also should be celebrating love. But our love is different. Everybody needs love. I know old people should be around young people. It's healthy. It's healthy for both the old people and the young people. And it's always really good, too, to have old dogs around young dogs. Old creatures around young creatures. It's the cycle of life. And it's how the young learn. And it's how the old pass on their wisdom. Cheryl says, really, they did a wonderful copy of Muffin. Yes, they did. Thank you, Gracie. Happy Valentine's Day to you, too. I love all of you. And I'll definitely be spending Valentine's Day with you. And in the days leading up to Valentine's Day and all of February, we're going to come up with really great ways to show our love. Another way that you can show love is to the whole world. You can pray for everybody. You can take the love. Now, this was something that was some advice that I got that I thought was just so incredible. So that love that you have for your pet. There's no love like it, right? I mean, you can have love for your kids. You can have love for your parents. You can love for your husband, your boyfriend, whatever. But your love for your pet, it kind of transcends everything, right? It's like this creature that you hold so close, like long after you would hold a baby, right? You can love your kids, but they grow up and you're not cuddling with them when they're like 6, 7, 8 years old. They won't even let you do it. But with a dog, they kind of never grow up, They're always cute and cuddly, just like this. And they're like your baby that is your baby for so long, even though they don't live very long. Having a baby for 15, 16, 17 years or more, even just for 4 years, is a long time. It's a long time. Babies really only last for 1 to 2 years. So, and if you have a child who's special needs and it needs to be cared for like a baby, you have different feelings about them too. It's a different kind of a relationship. But for dogs, they're never going to grow up and leave you. You don't have to teach them how to be independent. You don't want them to be independent because you don't want them to run away, you know? You want to be the one who feeds them and loves them. And so that relationship is so close. Okay, so what I'm getting at is you know how deep it is. Take that relationship, that feeling, that love that you have for your dog, and think about it, like meditate on it, like make it like everything, and then grow it so big, like you like feel it in your heart, like I love her so much, I love her so much. Oh, Muffin, she was everything to me, but my love for her, I wanted to burst into the universe because it's so huge. It can't just be for me, it should be for everybody. So that's another way that I've been kind of spreading love and spreading joy and hoping that the world is a better place by praying, but not in a way that I'm praying, but I'm just sending that deep love that I have now, that it's not going into Muffin. I want it to go out into the universe so that everybody feels it. Darla says, animals love unconditionally. We humans can learn from the animals. So very true. So very true. Anyway, loving pets, you know, it's if you have a child, get them a pet. And it doesn't have to be a dog or a cat or anything conventional. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it can be the thing like a pet rock. I mean, my kids had Tamagotchis when they were little. Do you remember those Tamagotchi things? You had to feed them and stuff. My kids were fascinated. Teaching a child to care for something is one of the best ways that you can ensure that they'll grow up to be empathetic adults. Well, I'm having trouble talking now. I'm super tired. I got to get to bed. I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow of helping one of my friends. So I think that the world's a better place when we help each other. Always. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you on the next Beach Report. Ciao for now.